Good morning, Voyagers. How are we all doing? Still a month to go before the release of the album. Here to talk about my theory only, of what the stage show is like and how it's going to be done. We're getting clues, a little clue here, and a little clue from Agneta that was said in Swedish but was translated. So first of all, last night I was looking at a fan-made video of Don't Shut Me Down, but I had the volume off. And I was looking at the little extraction clips of the actual documentary part of I Still Have a Faith in You that was used during the live stream, of tiny millisecond extracts that were given over to be broadcast of the making of the show in London, because we know it's not holograms. We're told it's going to be live orchestra, live dancers. Obviously, Abba not live there, but casting my mind back to August last year, August 2020, I remember someone sending me, or I'm coming across a website which does casting for actors. I think it was because I follow Ludwig Andersson's Instagram, and he said he was in London. Click. At that stage, we didn't know anything about London. Then there was this thing about the body doubles. There was a casting call for body doubles in London, which I thought, very strange. Okay. Then there was a picture published by Ludwig of what now we know is the inside of the workings, the makings of the auditorium. So put that to one side, then go back to what I was saying about the video that I saw last night, and all the little tiny snippets. So what I did is this morning I went through and I did some screenshots, and I've transferred them to my phone. So first of all, it's theories, because they keep saying it's live and that we're not just going to be watching a projection on a flat screen. Otherwise you may as well just go and watch a movie, in a 2D kind of thing, or even a 3D, but you still know it's projected against a flat screen. I think they're going a little bit of a step further ahead than that, because I think what will happen is when you're in the auditorium, and if you get up from your seat and you happen to walk through the auditorium from left to right and they're performing, I think you'll be able to see perspective. You'll be able to see side face, side. So I think they're going to do it three-dimensional. Now, how do we do that when you're not projecting onto a flat screen or anything? Well, I think this is where the body doubles come in. Now, I did a screenshot. I don't know whether you can see it, whether you'll be able to see on here, but I'm going to try and sort of zoom in. The body doubles, if you take a screenshot and take a very quick look, I don't know whether you can see, this lady is obviously portraying Frida. Now that's an actress, and then on the right side is like on the other side is a computerized version. So that I think it starts out with the body double in the dresses and the clothes, and then so that person there I think is going to be involved actually in the shows, I think. Now we know, and another screenshot that I took was the Agneta. Now, so you can see that there's you can see the lady above Agneta. That's not Agneta. That's a close look-alike. So that lady there is going to be, shall we say, erased to become the lady down below, which is Agneta. So these are humans involved. This lady here, that resembles Frida. There's obviously a lady. This is a screenshot of a couple of frames later, but I couldn't quite catch the screenshot from just before, where it looked like a really different lady, young lady. no disrespect. So I think there's a kind of phased change. Then, so I sort of kind of knew that Agneta, during the Swedish interview, which was then translated into English, and I read it, Agneta said it was very strange. She didn't understand how it was done either, but they were transferring all their emotions for the people that were going to be on stage as them, which is a little clue as to whether these people, these body doubles, are actually going to be on the stage and do the show. And with another screenshot I didn't quite catch was, you know, when you're watching and they're doing a scan of a hand and there's another hand above. So obviously the bottom hand maybe is Agneta or Benny hand, and the hand above is the body doubles hand. So they're scanning this hand, scanning that hand, and they're going to try to match somehow, no idea, live, because if you've got a little bobble here, and the other hand is a bobble here, and so those are going to match, and in real time they're going to superimpose. So I don't know how these people are going to appear on stage, whether they're going to be in green suits or with these things on. I have no idea. But the one thing last night that struck me was this picture here, which it's very brief. You have to really look carefully. It's when they do this. You can just about see there. That's a stage, and what you see there are 4 little rectangles, which I think are what these projections. So you are going to have a projection onto an actual physical item there, physical being. Now, whether the actors are in another room in the exact same positions, having the projections of them removed and Abba put on, and then that comes through a projection onto what you're seeing or what we're seeing in May, it is another clue. I think those 4 little dots there will move around, and they'll be the Abba members. So how on earth to match what has been going on in the computer? It has to be really, really a fast render computer, I would say. Also, I don't know whether this is anything, but this was like sort of floor casters, like wheeling. Whether those 4 little items on the stage will run along casters as remember animatronics, where they all move through the floor. You don't see, but because it's covered up quite nicely. But the animatronic item, like the dinosaur at Jurassic Park, sort of goes through the floor, but you don't see it. And so it's whether that is part of what these 4 little rectangles will do, I'm not sure. So that's still unknown. And then this picture here, that stage is more or less in a hexagon shape, and the artist's impression of the actual finished auditorium in London is hexagonal. So it's something to do with the hexagons and the angles. And I think what's going to happen is that depending on where you're sitting, you're going to get a slightly different view of the upper member, because this 160 cameras just taking slices. That one might have been a clue there, where you get slices. This is just stuff that we've all seen, but we don't know whether we put it all together. Maybe the way they're going to do so that you do get a 3D, three-dimensional something depth, is that you're going to get the projection of just that slice going through from somewhere to this little block, this white block that we saw on the stage, will cut through to there, so that when you're sitting there, you'll see that piece of slice. And then another camera, another camera. So from all different angles. That's why I think they've got the hexagonal shape in there. And also, if I zoom in on this, I don't know whether you can actually see. this is like again, it's a screenshot, so it's quite. But that there is the ABBA members. Now, if you can't really make out on there, but all around are kind of angled cameras or lights or lasers or something. So I don't know. It's very clever the way this is going to be done. That's why everyone's really interested in as to how this is going to be done. It's going to be interesting to see whether it's going to be these body doubles in another room doing the running around, because I saw on some of the clips ABBA's running around on the stage. Whether these are the body doubles that have done the running around, and they've taken scans of all the body parts, so that when Agnieszka body double does that, it's actually really the scan of Agnieszka moving as well. And to keep it all in sync, and whether that is recorded or is done live, but in a different room with the actors, and then what the computer works out, renders together. It's going to be really a quick action computer matching up with the dots and everything, so that what we then get projected onto the three-dimensional. They might be cylindrical, because I can't make out from that picture, so that the projections come in, so you've got that kind of effect. So it's really interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of puzzlement, and I think the people that are going to go for the the previews, the people that from the fan club, are going to get a really, really interesting day out to see how that's done. We might get a few more clues closer to the release of the album, maybe another video or an updated video for Don't Shut Me Down, because I'd like to see a nice updated video with more of the avatar action, see whether we can work this out. It's really interesting. But I mean, we just have to be patient and wait. I don't think the stuff is perfected yet somehow, because during the I Still Have Faith in You video, we don't get extended too long views of the actual avatars. It sort of goes to for a part of the chorus. We just get speckled stars. Maybe that's because they hadn't got enough footage recorded of the actual action of the avatars, so may still be in the early stages, and hopefully it's all done by May. So it's going to be really interesting. Can't think of anything else more, but that's, I think, why it can't move around like it, in 2018 when they said they were going to move this around from city to city. It's obviously impossible, because I think we are going to be part of the projection show. So we're going to have gadgetry around us that we're not familiar with, or we don't even know what it does until it all kicks in. It's going to be really quite interesting. But the body doubles, and Agnieszka said, see if you read the interview, it says, it was very strange to work out. I didn't even know how to work out how all this computer stuff was going to be transferred to the people that are playing us on stage. Something like that, she said. So she gave away a little bit there. So whether these body doubles have to do a complete copy every single show to keep everything in sync, it's going to be. Remember, is it Zemmerhoff or whatever, the Swedish Eurovision winner, who had to do a dead-on, in sync performance of his winning Heroes song with a little cartoon character that was next to him. He had to do exactly this. Whether that's going to have to be done as well, and what happens if an actor or one of the body doubles makes mistakes? Does it go out of sync? Do we see them? Is there a glitch? It's going to be fascinating to see. Anyway, it's revolutionary. It's probably going to be fascinating. I can't wait. And that's about it, really. Just my thoughts. I think it's going to be much more you got to be kidding me sort of thing. I hope they pull it off. I don't think it's just going to be a projection against the screen. I think there's going to be a kind of more movement, and you're going to see 3D, so it's and it won't be see-through like the Whitney Houston hologram. You could see through it, and it was kind of fixed. This is going to be much more movement. I think the actors are going to play, these body doubles are going to play a bigger role than we think somehow, and it's all going to be matched up with magical strong computer power to get everything to match everything. As for the singing and everything, I don't know whether they sang everything again, don't know, but it'll be interesting to see how a live orchestra can match up with all this and keep everything together. And for it to, I think what we'll get is end of song, dip to black, so that they can flick a switch, so that Abba can change costume and hairdo, flick a switch. It's going to be fascinating to see. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I wonder if you want to give some thoughts below. And thanks for watching. And another month to go before Voyage. Apparently the vinyl plants are in overdrive. Adele, don't bother. November the 5th, don't bother, because we've got all the vinyl plants all over the world working on Voyage.